G'day team, Adam Cogan here from SSW TV, and today we are talking about deployment problems and DevOps and notifications, and I'm really looking forward to this. And we have Luke Parker. How are you, Luke?
I'm pretty good, Adam.
All right, so we have this discussion a lot in SSW because these things take up a lot of time and waste a lot of time. So let's talk about what is the scenario of what's going on here.
Right, so in this scenario, I'm a developer working on our SSW website, and I've changed one of the colors down here, but it's not showing up.
Okay, so what's the first thing you would do?
First thing I'd do is go to our code on GitHub and see what's going on.
Awesome. I can see a nice little green tick there.
That's it. So on our latest commit, there's a green tick, which doesn't make too much sense because it's telling us everything's working well, but we know it's not deployed.
Would you go somewhere else, or would you click on details and just double check everything is working?
Right. So I think the first step is to click on the details of deploy and drill down right before it goes to Azure. So let's look at upload to blob storage, which is right before it goes to Azure.
What the hell with this? Why do we see a whole lot of ticks and then hidden under there is an error?
Right. So sometimes the actions that are coded will print out errors in the logs, but they won't actually detect them as failures in the action. So we'll print out an error and then it'll say, great, let's do the next thing.
Super frustrating. All right. So the next thing I would take it is you'll need to go to Azure. But wouldn't it be super if there was just a link there that took you to Azure?
Right. It would be super easy if there was a button to jump to Azure, but luckily I've got it up here on the next tab.
Okay. All right.
So here we can jump into the resource group and let's look at the deployments.
Oh, there we go.
So we see that contrary to our GitHub actions, there are errors. So if we click the details here, we'll find a bit more info. And in this case, there's nothing useful. But like I did yesterday, there was actually something. It was a missing config, and fixing that one config fixed a whole heap of issues.
So what was the config error?
Yeah, so I was missing a key vault key, and that was just causing a whole world of hurt.
So that was a lot of pain to get there. There's a lot of steps until you worked out it was Azure. So there is a much nicer way of doing this and being informed quicker, and that's if you're using your notifications well. Now, I should say that I have seen over the years a lot of developers turn off all the notifications from Azure DevOps or GitHub or whatever their tool is. Has that happened to you, Luke?
Absolutely. It's usually the first thing I do whenever I sign up for a service. All the notifications just go on.
Okay, so you've been guilty of it too. So let's go through this and let's look at the GitHub notifications, turn them on, and then see what error we get and see if this is a quicker process.
Sure. So I'll jump over to my profile page. And if you click your avatar on the left, that'll take you to your settings. And we can go to the notifications. So here you'll notice, contrary to what I said, there are some notifications ticked here. So for this example, participating, I've got that enabled. So if I'm talking with someone, possibly a bug report, I don't want to leave them, unanswered. It's important to respond. Something watching, emails, that's off. It's not that important. But if I'm on the website, sure, I'll find out about it. Dependabot, send me an email if there's a vulnerability. Everything else you can tell me on the web. It's not important. And here's the important one, actions. So we've got notifications sending to email and the web, which is good. But the important one is this: send notifications for failed workflows only. So instead of getting tons of emails every day about every successful workflow, it reduces that down to only when it fails. So again, it's making emails be something that should be actionable. It's not actionable when your deployment succeeds. It's actionable when it fails.
Awesome. Okay. So that's the key. And if you have that one turned on, what is the experience when you get that email?
Right. So when you get the email, you'll notice the notification on your phone, and then you'll just quickly jump over to your inbox and notice the title, run failed, attempt 2, maybe it reran once. And if you open it, you'll see, a push to production failed. right away you know there's an issue.
Right. And what will happen when you click that green button, View Workflow Run?
Right. So when you click this View Workflow Run, it'll take you back to the GitHub actions we were on over here, saving you all the stress.
Okay. So that would have saved a number of steps. You don't need to go and test the website and see it or wait for somebody to tell you. You don't need to look at the commits. You go straight into here. What would be the experience if we were using Azure DevOps?
Right. So let's say our code was in Azure DevOps. We'd jump right over to your homepage, and you could go to your user settings again and notifications. So just like GitHub, we can configure which ones are on and off. And in this case, I have a lot more off. But if we scroll down, you'll notice all the deployment settings about a failed deployment have the notifications on.
Fantastic. Yeah, the UI does look much sweeter here. Now, I guess that solves our problems. There is one final piece. I guess we should talk about Azure itself, which is a bit devoid of notifications, but let's check it out.
So in the Azure portal, if you go to your user settings, you'll see there is something about notifications, but the only setting is to enable pop-up notifications on the browser.
And you've taken that one.
I guess I'll allow it.
Okay, awesome. Well, I learnt a lot. I hope you learned a lot too. Thank you so much, Luke Parker. If you have better ways of doing your notifications or saving times in debugging deployment pipelines, please throw it down there in the comments. We'd love to learn too. So this is Adam Cogan signing off for SSW TV.